Michael Milken was once hailed as a financial genius, the man who changed Wall Street forever. In the 1980s, he became known as the junk bond king, building a fortune at the investment bank Drexel Burnham Lambert. His strategy? Turning high-risk, low-rated bonds into tools for massive corporate takeovers. At a time when blue-chip companies ruled the market, Milken saw potential in underdogs, companies that traditional investors wouldn't touch. He offered them funding in exchange for high-yield bonds, and in doing so, he created a brand new financial engine that fueled billions in deals. But while Milken was praised for innovating the market, there was a darker side to his empire. Behind the boardroom doors and billion-dollar deals was a web of insider trading, stock manipulation, and securities fraud. In 1986, the spotlight turned harsh when the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission began investigating Wall Street corruption. Their attention soon narrowed on Milken. The man who had once been untouchable was now under intense scrutiny. In 1989, Milken was indicted on 98 counts of racketeering and securities fraud. The charges shocked the financial world. He wasn't just being accused of playing rough, he was accused of rigging the system entirely. In a strategic move, Milken pleaded guilty to 6 lesser charges in exchange for dropping the more serious ones. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison and fined $600 million. At the time, the largest ever imposed on an individual. He served just under 2 years behind bars. His fall from grace was swift and public. Once worth billions and idolized by an entire generation of finance professionals, Milken became the face of 1980s Wall Street greed. He was banned from the securities industry for life. After prison, Milken underwent what many call one of the most surprising reinventions in modern business history. Diagnosed with prostate cancer in the early 1990s, he shifted his focus to philanthropy. He founded the Milken Family Foundation and later the Prostate Cancer Foundation, dedicating hundreds of millions to medical research, education, and public health. Over the years, he built a new reputation, this time as a philanthropist, thought leader, and advocate for life sciences. Even his critics had to admit, he had channeled his energy into causes that were undeniably meaningful. Then in 2020, something even more unexpected happened. President Donald Trump granted Michael Milken a full pardon. The White House cited his philanthropic efforts and claimed he had paid his debt to society. Supporters praised the decision, saying Milken had transformed his life and made a positive impact on the world. Critics, however, saw it as another example of wealth and influence rewriting history. The man once held up as the embodiment of Wall Street corruption was now being celebrated by the highest office in the country. Today, Michael Milken remains a polarizing figure. To some, he's a brilliant innovator who paid the price for his mistakes and used his fortune for good. To others, he's a symbol of how privilege and money can bend the rules of justice. But no matter how you see him, one thing is clear: Michael Milken changed the world of finance forever. His rise and fall, and rise again, remind us that power, money, and morality rarely follow a straight line. It's a story of ambition, consequence, and reinvention, a story that still echoes in Wall Street's halls to this day.